Today's episode of Checkpoint Chat is proudly brought to you by Hitman 2, the sequel to the critically acclaimed reboot of the satisfying assassination-based action game by IO Interactive. Step into the shoes of Agent 47 once again and get creative across 5 brand new sandbox playgrounds, now for the low price of 599 Rand. That's a saving of $400. This offer is only available until April 7th, so put on your black suit and red tie and check out your nearest retailer today. Hello, and welcome to episode 30.
30.
30.
Whoa.
Off to a great start. 47.
47.
Of Checkpoint Chat. This is a strange episode because we've just finished recording episode 46. This is the magic of podcasting.
This episode comes to you from the future.
From
AKA the past.
the future and the past, because you'll be listening to this in the super
In the
past.
future.
Is it
Recorded
super
in the
past?
past.
Yeah.
This
Time
time travel
travel.
is very confusing.
Well, this is how time travel works. I mean, podcasters have figured out the means to time travel. How many times you listen to a podcast where they go, if you're listening to this today, which is not really today, but the day you're listening to this,
Yeah,
when
and
it
it's like,
comes out, it's time
what?
travel.
What?
Time
Oh, it's
travel.
actual time travel.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's the only skill you need to start a podcast is the ability to travel time.
Yeah, I mean, that's
And
easy. Everyone has that.
Everyone has, well, not really. Only podcast hosts have that ability.
That's
In fact,
true.
it's what they give to you when you buy a microphone. It's little extra
It's a little
that they don't
packet
tell
of
you about.
white
yeah.
dust, and they're like, snort this up your nostrils,
Snort
and you
it.
will have time travel abilities.
Oh,
Also, your heart will beat really fast.
Yeah, and that's why we have heart problems.
Mhm.
Whoa, just kidding.
Cocaine.
Actual cocaine. Damn, did we just endorse cocaine?
No, definitely not.
No.
No.
Don't do time
powdered
travel.
Sugar.
Don't snort time travel.
Don't
It's bad
snort
for-
time travel. Yeah, it's bad. Just like unicorns.
Why are unicorns bad?
Unicorns can travel time. Like, no, wait, I'm thinking of narwhals. You know the whales with the unicorn.
The hell's a narwhal?
The whale with the unicorn horn. That's a narwhal. No whale.
No whale. Oh my God,
I'll
Noel.
Google this. Oh my God, Noel. Yes.
Is it no whale?
Whoa.
Oh,
Narwhal.
narwhal. Thank you.
There, narwhal.
What the hell's a
This thing's
narwhal?
fucking real?
Oh my God.
The unicorn of the sea. It's a real thing. What?
And is it time travel?
I thought this is fictional.
Well, we
This
don't know.
is-
This
this
is
is
the
com-
internet. Is it
This-
real?
Oh, National Geographic is. I don't know. Hold on.
Hashtag fake news.
It's fucking real.
Wow.
This is wild. This changes everything.
We're rebranding now. Welcome to
That.
what
Okay.
what are we rebranding to? The Narwhal Hunters.
Yeah. No. The Narwhal Mythbusters.
Narwhal
Busters.
Believer Society.
I-
That is incredible.
And unless I'm reading this completely incorrectly and someone's fucking with me.
I don't know. It's a wiki page. Remember what they told you in school?
Yeah,
Don't
you-
believe
you
the
can
wiki
you can
pages.
never
It's not
believe-
verified. I don't
No.
know.
Are
Narwhal.
narwhals real? That's what I'm googling.
Are narwhals real?
Narwhals
Ready?
real? There we go. That's the first one.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
don't give me
They are.
fucking Wikipedia.
Oh no.
National Geographic.
I mean,
has
it's got an entry on National Geographic. Therefore, it's confirmed.
27 awesome facts. 27 awesome narwhal facts. Yes, they're real.
Wow. Narwhals are real. Dogs are barking. And this is episode 47.
So
brought
wait,
to you-
unicorns don't exist, but they
But
call
narwhals do.
narwhals the unicorns of the sea. So a thing that does exist is being referred to as a thing that doesn't exist of the sea. Surely then, unicorns are really just the narwhals of land.
Yeah. The fictional
Because
narwhals
unicorns
of the
don't
land.
fucking exist.
Well, they are the national animal of Scotland.
That's like saying, Matty, you're the Spider-Man of normal people because you don't have Spider-Man abilities, but Spider-Man's fake, so you can be the Spider-Man
I
of
can't
normal
believe you just
people.
revealed my secret identity
Oh,
live.
I'm sorry.
Live
You
to
could
everyone.
you could never put a mask over that afro.
No, people would know. Like, oh my God, it's Maddie, is that you?
You'd be like, you'd cut out like a thing for your throat to come out and then put on glasses.
Yeah.
in the middle.
we know who you are.
Just as dumb as calling yourself Spider Gwen. Like,
Spider-
so you're Gwen Stacy.
I'm Spider Mats.
I wish Kervin listened to this podcast because then he could fucking shout at us because
What?
it's not actually
Is
Spider
it,
Gwen.
it's Spider Gwen. We know it's fact. It's
Spider
Spider
Girl,
Gwen. Thank you,
Spider
thank you,
Woman.
Kevin. Spider Gwen is actual
It's
name
actual,
of
it's
her.
canon. That's her name. So
This has been a wild intro, but it's fun because we're
narwhals.
breaking.
We learnt about narwhals.
Yeah, we're breaking out of tradition. So as you may know, I'm getting married. Actually, by the time he listens to this, I'm married.
Time travel. Boom.
We had a wild party on Saturday. I'm married now.
Yeah.
Alessandro and I are away gallivanting in Madeira.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Alessandro on honeymoon with us? Who invited you?
I'm eating pregos and drinking breezer.
Yeah, okay. And so here we are.
Dipping it in culture.
we can't exactly break up news from last week and regurgitate old news because that's not how...
It's breaking embargoes. We can't, we have to be responsible for that.
It's called breaking news, not news.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to be time sensitive.
Yeah.
So we decided this episode, we're just going to make it nice and evergreen. We can post it wherever we want, but we're going to post it now because we need it. And
so evergreen, there won't be listener questions because obviously we haven't source those. There'll be no news because, I don't know what the fuck's happening this week, which is kind of sad because Google's revealing their fucking console this week and we're gonna miss that.
Or you can pretend we know. Whoa, did you see Google revealed that new console?
So good.
Oh my
so
god,
cool, unbelievable.
Yes, Sony and Xbox are dead. Actually, they rejuvenate. Woolies Water Challenge, which is old news by now.
What a great video.
So good. Really good.
But yeah, so we thought of a lot of evergreen topics, but there's one that is always easy to do and always fun, I think. And we've never done it on the show. We've
never done it, actually.
Yeah,
ever.
Matty and I, when we both started at Lazy Gamer, now Critical Hit, rest in peace.
Rip Lazy Gamer.
Rip Lazy Gamer.
Although in the week, we don't know.
We don't know. You never know what happens.
Is Critical
man.
Hit still alive? We don't know.
I mean, Jeff's on holiday.
Darren's running this. Oh no.
Yeah, so it could be game over for the website.
Rip Critical Hit will be missed.
What's the DNS?
What? Denada.
Yeah, Denada. Yes, definitely. Nice. But when we both started at Laser Gamer, we both had to do like a top 10, our best games, our favorite games.
True. For some reason, I never got asked to do a top 10 list.
What?
I did mine when I left Lazy Gamer. I was
really?
Like, yeah.
Oh.
It was like the last thing I posted. I was like, bye, I'm leaving. Here's my top 10 games.
I got told to do it at the beginning. No.
Jeff, I was an intern, I guess, though.
Jeff just doesn't love you.
Yeah, Jeff hates me.
Yeah.
Well, he won't hear that now because he's never listens to this podcast. But anyway.
That's true. But we both had top 10 lists. So we dug those out. And unsurprisingly, my list is quite different. My list today is
we've evolved like a lot.
Yeah. I mean, even when I wrote that list, I'm like, this is my top 10
today.
This very minute. It could change tomorrow.
If we record this, if we were to pause and come back in 10 minutes, I might be like, hang on, I got to change.
This is all a subjective thing. Also, I got slammed somewhat for my list back in the day because they're like, these are a lot of modern games, not retro games.
Oh so no! Firstly, God forbid.
I was born in '92. B, my first console was the original Xbox in like 2003.
Oh my god!
So I didn't play I played games before then, obviously, but like my personal hard hitting moments came from more modern games.
More modern stuff, yeah.
There's some old games in there, but.
I mean, it's a subjective list. Yeah. I don't know why anyone gives anyone else shit because...
Yeah, it's my list. Fuck you.
Whatever. I can put...
Come at me, bro.
What is a bad game? I can put Fallout 76 on my list if I it's not on my list. No. Don't give me shit.
Okay, so should we start with... We've ordered it, so we'll go 1.
For the record, I did not want to order it because I hate ordering shit.
I made you do hot things.
Then Alessandro put a gun to my head, said, order it. And I was like, no. And then he
I have
pulled
no
the
idea
trigger.
what Matty's list is, so I have no idea if we have overlap, but I'm going to keep it like that.
You might.
So let me start with my 3 shout-outs.
Oh, are you doing shout-outs first? Okay.
Yeah. We'll do shout-outs. So one of these was on my original top 10 list. It's The Witcher 2. I still consider The Witcher 2 the best in the series, even though I love Witcher 3's story. I love its openness and its gameplay. But for me, I replayed The Witcher 2 a lot. And I just thought its story was phenomenal at the time.
Really good.
Came out at the same year as Skyrim. And I still don't understand why people lose their shit over Skyrim when Witcher 2 was a far better game.
Okay, wait. Before you proceed to your next one. On my list, The Witcher 3, honorable mention.
Witcher 3? Okay, cool. I mean, that was your first one in the series, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good.
You'll struggle to go back to 2 and 1 now. Though.
Oh no! Thought about putting on my top 10. I'm like, the game is great. Don't get me wrong, but shit. When I look at my top 10, I'm like, I have nowhere to put it. Sorry, like time and place thing. Today, I just don't think The Witcher 3 belongs in my top 10.
Well, you
but it's an
might
honorable
be
mention.
visiting CD Projekt Red during your honeymoon.
Oh, my.
So if you do go there, just say it was on your number one.
It's my number one.
What's number 2 on your list? Witcher 2.
Speaking of which, how's that a Cyberpunk 2077 looking? Give me the inside scoop.
Other honorable mention, Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda.
Oh boy.
It was the first Zelda I played. I played it really long after it launched. I played it on 3DS.
Yeah, here's a fun fact about you, though. You said your original top 10 list, you hadn't played a Zelda game.
When I wrote a laser game, I had not played a single Zelda game. And now on my top 10 list, there are 2 Zelda games.
I look around and there's just Zelda shit everywhere.
Yeah,
oh my God,
Zelda's
you
great.
Zelda fanboy.
Ocarina of Time is phenomenal. I think it was much better, when it came out as like a genre-defining thing. But we never had huge like Nintendo presence here in South Africa. So I never played it then. But man, what a fucking game. Hasn't aged today. So good to play now. What's your...
my next one. Yeah, I've got a couple. Sorry. I just put Battle Royales here. Because they're not on my... Okay. I can't pick a Battle Royale.
PUBG, yo.
PUBG. But like, I give PUBG shit, but I played a ton of PUBG. It was the first Battle Royale I played. Really good. And it's just sad to look at it now. I don't think it's quite evolved to be what other Battle Royales are. But all Battle Royales, it's a time and place thing. It's the hot shit right now. I've put a ton of time into PUBG. I've put a ton of time into Fortnite. I'm putting a ton of time into Apex, and I'll probably put a ton of time into whatever other Battle Royale comes out. Firestorm.
Borderlands Battle Royale.
Oh, no. Loot! Grab all the loot.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to all the Battle Royales, but none of them quite belong in my top 10, I don't feel.
I think that's a good genre to put on a shout out. My last honorable mention is one I struggled to keep off my top 10 list, but I just had to.
Oh, God.
Hollow Knight.
It's not in your top 10?
It's not. Hollow Knight is...
Hold me back.
Hollow Knight is undeniably exceptional. It's one of the best games I've ever played. And I absolutely can't wait for that sequel.
It's just not top 10 material.
There's a lot of good things in my top 10.
Tweet at them, I dare you. Be like, it's not top 10 material.
But I love Team Cherry. Man, that game is fucking special to me.
Yeah,
it's
really
so good. I assume that's on your top 10 somewhere.
I'm not telling you. I don't ruin shit here.
What's the rest of your honorable mentions?
I put Bloodborne on my honorable mention because...
Not on your top 10. Fuck, I'd left it out.
You left it out. Oh, okay. So it's an honorable mention for you
it's an honorable mention for me, just putting it in there.
So Bloodborne, obviously, I finished it. I'm still playing it, though.
See, this is why these lists don't work.
Yeah, it's difficult, man, because Bloodborne's great. I'm in love with that game. Like, I'm nearly done with my second playthrough. I'm going to play it a third time because I want the platinum.
You're going for the platinum?
Yeah, bro. I'm
good
going to do the platinum, man. I'm going to do them blood chalice dungeons.
Oh, the chalice dungeons.
It's fine. I'll do some grinding, whatever it is. But I just don't... Like, maybe in a year from now when I've played it and, like, rested on it or whatever.
Let it marinate.
Let it marinate. I'll be like, yeah, that game is good. Top 10. But at the moment, it's a work in progress. Material. Yeah, it's shout-out material. And my last shout-out, this was actually in my original top 10 list that I wrote on Critical Hit. Super Mario Galaxy.
Still haven't played that.
Like Super Mario Odyssey, really good. Refined Mario, but it's not Super Mario Galaxy. That game just blew my mind with the way it messed with gravity. You're running around these little planets. It was just really creative.
Is it still better than the second one?
I don't know. I put the OG one because the second one, while good, it was like more of the same.
Okay.
It was more of the same with Yoshi, so it wasn't less of that like, wow, this is really... It was like, oh, yeah, this is cool.
Okay.
So I put the original Mario Galaxy, and if it comes to Switch, you said you've got it though.
I've got it, yeah, so I could play it on the Wii U, but...
Nah, save it for Switch.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I guess they could do it because they've got the motion controlling with the Joy-Cons, so they really could.
Yeah, I suppose one of the core mechanics of that, you had to pick up star bits with your Wii remotes, like point them at the screen.
The TV needed to know.
But I mean, you could like.
I mean, Mario Party does that sort of. So
they could make a workaround. I feel.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just an honorable mention. It comes off my top 10. Sorry, Mario. And green. Sorry,
it's
Red
fun.
Mario
it's
and Green
fun.
Mario.
It's fun that you hate Mario and Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm a Mario hater.
I hope Reggie visits you in your sleep.
This is why I retired, because like, man, he took it off his top 10 list.
Yep.
So I failed at life.
I didn't even have a Mario.
Not
I had one.
Believe it or not.
I took it off.
I also took it
I had Odyssey on here, and I was like, I fucking love Odyssey, but
it's good.
When I compare it to the other games that I have here and how they impacted me.
Yeah.
And, like, because that's the theme I went through. It's like games that aren't necessarily the best, because they definitely aren't. Yeah. But no, fuck off, Siri.
Whoa, why is she in the room?
Yeah.
What is this?
But ones that like shaped my journey through games, essentially. Made big impact. So I'm going to start at number 10.
What is your number 10?
The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. 100%.
You, Nintendo shill.
Yes.
Putting Legend of Zelda in your shit.
Which is weird, because Majora's Mask is Ocarina of Time, essentially. It is. Yep. It was like a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, and launched like not long after it. But man, there are things in Majora's Mask that, like, firstly, it's creepy as fuck for a Zelda game. It's weird. It deals with like weird themes of like sadness and depression and hectic. So it is a melancholy game if there ever is one. But the thing that really grabbed me about it was like, this is an old game, but it has a mechanic in it of like rewinding time, living this like Groundhog Day, that I am impressed at how well that mechanic ages and feels revolutionary to this day.
Sure.
Because I only played this game like 3 or 4 years ago, and it still felt incredible. It's just like, everyone thinks, I have to rewind and redo stuff and do this and that. That gets tedious. It just doesn't. It works. A lot of that is to do with the 3DS refining a lot of that, but man, like going through a dungeon and having to time your run through a dungeon and going, okay, this thing will stay put after a rewind, or this thing won't, or I don't have time to do a dungeon, so let me knock off some other things off my list that will help me on my dungeon running. Something just so good.
Just like, works.
So good.
I need to play that game.
Yeah, and Skull Kid is a really cool character.
Skull Kid.
Majora's Mask is fucking phenomenal, and
You're number 10.
It's probably my second favorite Zelda.
Does that mean there's another Zelda in your top list? Oh boy.
Of course there is.
Your list has 2 Zelda. You are such a Zelda show. What up?
I try to keep one from each franchise on here, but with Zelda I just
Past Alessandro is looking at you now going, well, you've changed.
You've changed, son.
I used to hate Zelda games. Boo. My number 10, Borderlands 2.
Ooh, good choice. Solid.
Borderlands 2's a game that I don't know how it'd hold up today. I haven't played it. I think it'd still be fun, but
I think we said on the last podcast we want to replay it.
Yeah, Borderlands 2 at the time was like mind-blowing. It's okay, let's say Borderlands 1 did it right first time. Like, it's a looter shooter. You're playing a first-person shooter. There are just tons of guns. It's got RPG mechanics. And then Borderlands 2 just took that and had a really... I love the story. The characters are wild. The gunplay is awesome. The enemies were fun. And I just put a lot of time into that game. I played it countless times solo. Played it a couple of times co-op with friends. I went far beyond, did all the DLC, leveled up, and to this day I'm still like, I want to play more Borderlands 2.
Yeah, it's a great game.
I don't know what it is, if it's just me falling into that addictive loop of like, hey, this gun's a little bit better, awesome. Oh wow, this gun shoots fire bullets and it shoots 2 at a time, whatever. I don't know, it's insanely addictive, and it was just a lot of fun.
And the game showered you with loot as well, so you always felt like you were picking up something.
And it was just funny. Like, the writing and the characters in the game, I felt were really spot on. Like, Handsome Jack to me is still one of the best villains ever.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's great.
He's like pure evil, but he's so funny.
Yeah, menacingly hilarious.
You've got Butt Stallion, man. Like, Diamond Butt Stallion.
Also, what I liked about Borderlands 2 was just how much more colorful it was. Borderlands 1 had this like really gray and red palette.
Yeah, Borderlands 1, like, I played it.
Borderlands 1 hasn't aged that well.
I played it at the time. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I played Borderlands 2, awesome.
Yeah, Borderlands 2 makes it feel redundant.
Yeah, then a couple of years later, I was like, I haven't played Borderlands 1 for ages. Like, I didn't remember what happened. I go and I play, and I was like,
it's nowhere near as good.
It hasn't aged well at all. And it was very, like, drab in comparison. Like, no personality, I'd say. I mean, there was like Claptrap was there, a little bit of personality, but Borderlands 2 like really amped that up.
Yeah, like Borderlands 1 is still a good game, but when Borderlands 2 exists, like, it's very easy to play the second one more. Yeah. So
that's my number 10. Where's your number 9?
Yeah, okay, we need to fly through these a bit faster, otherwise we're going to go for 10 years.
For 3 years.
Number 9, Gears of War. Very first Gears of War. I remember the day I got Gears of War. I had heard about it. I'd seen that really cool trailer with Mad World that played. Where
that's a really good trailer. Yeah.
And I was, at the time, I was not really like following gaming news at all. So it was a case of my parents are going to the mall, asked them to pick it up. They came back with it, not knowing what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
I put this game into my 360, which hadn't No, it had just launched in South Africa at the time, and fuck, what a game.
So good.
I remember just being blown away by like cover shooting, because they redefined what cover shooting was.
Like the cover shooter.
And just its visuals were incredible, and this like gritty story with this like crazy gun that had a chainsaw on it. Like,
and there's a meatiness to that game. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know, there's a meatiness and a weight to it. It's like you feel like everything.
Yeah,
like the bullets, the actual visual stuff.
Bullets, like, it's so good. And then the multiplayer was just phenomenal as well. Like,
I never played multiplayer, but I've heard it's
played quite a bit
10
of
out of 10.
So and I replayed it when it was the remaster came out, and that campaign holds up really well. It's cool. Probably still one of the best out of all of them.
Damn. I played Gears of War 1. Fun fact. I haven't played any of the other ones.
Gears of War 1 is special. It's really fucking good.
At what point do they announce Gears of War for PC? All of them. I mean, they just did it with Halo.
They released the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
You'll see.
Good game.
My number 9. Did you ever play a game called Abe's Odyssey?
I did.
Did you play Abe's Odyssey?
I did, yes. Wasn't that Warren Spector or?
I don't know.
I might be wrong.
I don't know if it was Warren Spector.
I'll look it up while you talk about it.
Okay, so now, for the record, Abe's Odyssey has been remade into. It's had a full-on ground-up remake. I can't remember what it's called now. I haven't played it yet. And it's weird.
Is it a recent remake?
No, it's like a few years old. I just haven't got around to playing it. But it's like full-on modern-day upgrade.
Sorry, Lorna Lanning. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, did she work on it? What?
No,
What's going on?
Oh, shit.
I'm so confused. Okay.
Director's Lorna Lanning, yeah.
For Abe's Odyssey, I had no idea.
It's not a girl, it's a guy.
No, well, I had no idea that they were...
Yeah. Lorna Lanning. He did the Oddworld series.
Oh.
In its entirety.
Hot damn. Yeah. So the reason this ends up on my list, because it's a PlayStation 1 game. And I think to this day, I've never played a game that has a world as imaginative and like out there as Abe's Odyssey. I can still very clearly remember all the enemies. They're called Sligs. They're called Sligs. Yep. You got scarabs. You had paramites, the spider creatures. Like I remember everything.
Weren't they all like robots and stuff?
No, the Sligs were like weird insect enemies, like meshed with machine parts. They had like machine legs. You could hear them marching around.
Okay.
But just the setting of that game, and just like the premise is you're a dude working at a big corporation that makes these meat products, and this corporation, like the animals they're putting into these products are going extinct. Okay.
I thought they were using your species.
No. So that's the thing. These other products are going extinct. They're like, shit, we're going to lose profits. We need to turn to another meat source. And that's when they look at you, the Mudokans. I don't know how you pronounce that. Your people. And they're like, we're going to make this new product. And Abe sees it and he's like, oh shit.
Fuck this.
Like, we're going to do this. Yeah. And what follows is just a very imaginative, hard platformer with interesting puzzles. And yeah, it's
he's
just
like telekinesis and stuff.
Yeah,
like
he's got powers, and it's just
a
really cool game.
Yeah. I just remember like how rigid the animation felt, but it looked beautiful at the time.
And it was very precise.
Yeah, it was very precise, but it was hard. It was strange.
It was so hard. I played it after the fact, and I was like, God damn, this game is so hard.
And then it spun off into a bunch of sequels. Then there was that like offshoot, the Hunter one, Stranger's Wrath, which was pretty cool.
Never played it.
Yeah, very imaginative universe.
I love it. So good.
My next one.
Who's your next one?
Number 8, Crash Bandicoot 3.
You have a Crash game in the top 10? I can't believe it. Oh no.
The very first game I ever played on a PlayStation was Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
I was at a friend's house. His parents pulled out this PlayStation 1. I was like, what the fuck is that? Never had one, never owned one, never played one. Played Crash Team Racing the whole day. It was just my introduction to Crash Bandicoot. And then when I visited Germany, I went with my parents. They went on like a business trip there, and they took us with. We rented a PlayStation 1 there from like a video store and got Crash Bandicoot 3. And I remember playing that with my sister and completing it and just being like, this is fucking incredible.
This is the best game ever.
This is just Crash Bandicoot rides a motorbike. He's got like scuba diving level. This is a 3D platformer. He's got attitude, like fucking awesome. And that to me, like I consider Crash Bandicoot like the moment when I fell in love with like games. He is the mascot that got like many people refer to like Mario,
Sonic.
Like me, it was Crash Bandicoot because of the time period. Like so, Crash Bandicoot 3 is not the best in his series. I think Crash Bandicoot 2 is definitely. But Crash Bandicoot 3 is the thing that got me in there, and I will replay. I replayed it with the
I
remake.
need to replay.
That game's still great. Like, it's not. People can come and be like, Mario's a better platformer. I don't give a fuck. Those games are fun as hell.
It's a different platformer.
They're fun as hell. They got attitude. Naughty Dog did some wizardry on the PS1 to get that shit working.
It's so weird that Naughty Dog did that.
Yeah,
you think of modern day Naughty Dog, like
so
these like adventure games / Uncharted or gritty survival games like The Last of Us.
They've like matured
it's
with
so
their
weird.
audience. It's so weird, yeah.
But in Mario, you can't ride a tiger along the Great Wall of China.
Very true. Very true.
So,
you ride Yoshi.
Yoshi. Checkmate Mario.
Checkmate Mario,
man.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot is awesome in Crash Bandicoot 3. I cannot wait for the remake of
Crash Team Racing
later this year.
I think that's going to be a good time.
Man, I'm so excited.
Because I think a lot of people give the game shit saying it's not Mario Kart, but it's
better than Mario Kart.
It is really good.
I will 100% agree with you that Mario is a better platformer than Crash, but Crash Team Racing is better than Mario Kart.
You reckon it's better? Yeah. I haven't played it for years, but I know it is good.
Shit is good. Shit is so good.
So we'll see, man. My number 8, Resident Evil 3.
Ooh. 3, Nemesis.
So again, same thing. Like similar to Abe's Odyssey, it's a time and place thing. But I don't know how the game holds up today. I think it's okay. It's OG Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2 obviously is more popular to some people, but I think like that was maybe their first time playing that franchise. Whatever the thing is, my story is Resident Evil 3. I played it way too many times to count, to the point where I've always said it's like the first game I ever learned to speedrun, and I say that loosely because like when I say speedrun, I wasn't doing it professionally like speedrunners do today, but I remember booting up the game being like, yeah, I've got an hour and a half to kill. I can finish this game. And I could. I would just speed run through everything, like avoid enemies, this, that. So I'd finish. My best time, I think, was like just over an hour, maybe an hour 10, hour 15.
Okay.
Speedrunners today do it in...
15, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, but speedrunners do it in like 45, 47 minutes, I think.
That's so still crazy.
Yeah, but I was in that
you've 15 minutes off like the fastest time in the world.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Resident Evil. And I just love that game. I played it a lot. I need to play Remake 2 so I can get hyped for Remake 3, which I'm sure they will
I'm
make.
almost certain they're going to do that, yeah.
And that'll be my top 10 list.
Does the Nemesis work in the same way as Mr. X? Does he just follow you around?
No, see, now, I don't remember. In Resident Evil, OG Resident Evil 2, it was a thing of, I think if you go through a door or certain sections, he doesn't follow you.
What, Mr. X?
Mr. X.
No. So, firstly, in Resident Evil 2, he only appeared in Claire's playthrough, not in Leon's, and he would only not come into rooms that were save points. He followed you everywhere.
I can't remember that.
And now in the remake, he does the exact same thing.
Okay. In Resident Evil 3, Nemesis would follow you for the most part, but only in certain sections and times in the game. Not like
that's the same
forever.
As Mr. X, because sometimes he disappears, like you're doing a story critical thing and he's just not there.
He's just not there, yeah. So same thing, I guess.
Okay. But he has a rocket launcher.
He has a rocket
Mr. X can only punch you.
I think that's so funny.
X can
it's not terrifying because he'll like eat you. He just beats the shit out of you.
And he wears like this coat and this top hat. It's horrible.
There's a video I watched. Sorry, I have to say this. When there's a dude like reviewing the game or just making a funny video, and this dude, Mr. X, is stalking him like slowly, and he shoots the hat off of him.
Yes,
and Mr. X walks faster. He's like, "What the hell, man? Don't shoot my hat!"
You actually get a trophy on PS4 for shooting his hat off. It's good. Yeah, I did watch that video where someone wanted to see how he moved around the levels, and it's interesting how. Because not all the levels are loaded at any time, because that just that's not how games work. And like when he's moving around in like complete no man's land free space, he just walks really fast. So he's always walking, but he's walking super fast. And then when he gets to a room near, then he slows down.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Terrifying.
Number 7, Knights of the Old Republic. The original BioWare Star Wars game. That game is... So I actually played Knights of the Old Republic 2 before playing the first one. Because... at the time, I was just buying whatever I could for my original Xbox whenever my parents went overseas for stuff. And Knights of the Old Republic 2 was not what I expected because I, again, saw Star Wars game. I'm like, fuck yeah, Star Wars action or whatever. I'm like, what is this RPG bullshit? This turn-based...
Yeah, that is like proper RPG.
Turn-based stuff. But I got into it. I finished it. It took me long because there's some points in the game where I had no idea what to do.
What's going on, yeah.
Which kept me entertained for a while.
Pre-internet times.
Yeah. And I love that. And that wasn't developed by BioWare. That was Obsidian. And then I played the first one a few years later. Man, that story's good.
It's good.
That gameplay is really good. It's tight. It's really deep and technical and, just from another BioWare era.
Yeah.
But it's that story that is
so good.
So brilliant. It's it sets up this twist that is just like legendary. Like,
you're like,
midway through the game, everything just turns its head on itself. Like, it's brilliant. What a great game.
I started it about 2 years ago and I played about an hour and I just never got back into it.
No, you should. It's worth it for that story, and the companions are really good. And yeah, it's a great game.
So yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. That's the first one, hey? Correct.
Yeah, that's the first one.
When are we getting Knights of the Old Republic 3?
Never.
No. Number 7, Final Fantasy 6.
6.
Now,
Final Fantasy.
A lot of people. So here's my arguments. Okay, a lot of people, their favorite Final Fantasy game is their first one.
Yeah.
Because that's I mean, that's true of a lot of franchises. It's your first touch point. It's revolutionary. Final Fantasy 7 was my first game, and still to this day one of my favorite games, because I think for Final Fantasy it is one of the easiest to get into and understand. Materia systems, very straightforward. You get stuff, you get stones, you put them in, whatever, it gives you abilities. Very straightforward. Level up, that's that, whatever.
Yeah.
What blew me away though about 6 is that I played it. It came out in I think the early 90s, like maybe 1990, 91.
Yeah.
Don't shoot me, I don't know what's the actual year, but I played it. I don't know, like 2008, 2009, many years after the fact. And even then, I had late nights going to bed 2, 3 in the morning because I just could not stop playing this game. And what blew me away is I was like...
What did you play it on? PlayStation 1?
No, it was on I think I might have emulated it.
Oh, okay.
And just at the time, I was like, I can't believe this game's like 20 years old. Because it was like, it blew my mind. I'm like, how did they fit this whole game into like a 10 meg file or 15 meg, whatever the size was? It just blew me away, and there's just so much to do. The characters are great.
Is this the one that's more like pirate?
No, that was 5.
Oh, was that 5?
That was 5, yeah.
Okay.
6, I don't know why 6 is yet to receive like a proper like remake or anything. Because like they remade 3, gave it a 3D look. They remade 4. 5 is like hits or miss. Some people love it. Some people are like, yeah, it's not the best point in the franchise. But shit, 7 keeps getting re-released. 7's getting a remake. And then like 6 is still like, I'm not the only one. A lot of people say 6 is the best in the franchise, and it's just never had a remake or anything. It's been re-released, but there's no actual.
Apparently, its combat system is incredible.
It's so good. Yeah. It's like it's on my top 10. I think it's the best Final Fantasy. It's like
not
Final
9?
Fantasy 6. No, see like. Now, top 10 Final Fantasy games is a discussion for another day, because 9 is really good as well. 7's good, 6 is good, 9's great. 10 I played 3 years ago. Really one of the best Final Fantasies.
15 good.
I enjoyed 15, but 15, not my favorite.
Not great, but good game.
But good, yeah.
Good game. I enjoyed that game. Yeah.
So Final Fantasy 6. Nah.
Number 6. Fallout 3.
Fallout
3 is a weird one because I never played the original Fallout, the Interplay one. I think it was Interplay. So like the isometric representations and more RPG-ish nature. And
oh shit,
Fallout 3 is like the first time Bethesda got their hands on the franchise and kind of did their Elder Scrolls formula with it. And I fucking loved it at the time. I hadn't played Oblivion or Morrowind or anything, so I had no idea about this
how they did
this
those
template of games. Yeah, so it was completely new to me. And then I just like vibed with Fallout's world. Like the Capital Wasteland was really cool, having it set in DC, and just being introduced to all this Fallout lore. Like there's this been this atomic war between the Chinese and the Americans, and now there were all these bunkers, and some people survived, and some people survived outside of the bunkers, and whatever. It was just so new and so fresh and so good. I adored Fallout 3. I still think it's the best Fallout that Bethesda have made, even though a lot of people like New Vegas. I think New Vegas is fucking good.
It's not
but
Fallout
it's
3.
not Fallout 3 to me. And the rest have not been up to scratch. And yeah, I should probably go play the more isometric ones, but
the OGs.
Yeah, Fallout 3 is phenomenal. It's just so weird because I do not like Skyrim, and I've bounced off of Bethesda's like template of their Elder Scrolls games, but Fallout 3 for me just
Skyrim doesn't have a VAT system, man.
That VAT system is so good. The only thing that I miss from Fallout 3 playing it now is, and it's the thing that New Vegas introduced, was aiming down the sights.
Oh, could you not do that in Fallout 3? Oh.
Nope. Yeah, no, it made you rely on VATs a lot more. And
okay.
New Vegas found this like balance where it was like you could aim down the sights, but really you want to be using VATs.
Yeah.
And then when you get to Fallout 4, that's straight up now becoming like a shooter. Like that's more a shooter than anything else.
Meanwhile, in Fallout 76.
Fallout 76 VATs is in real time, so it's fucking useless.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah, Fallout 3 is great.
I remember playing Fallout 3 and loving it, but then I think I hit the level cap. I just stopped playing it. I was like, well, what's the point of even playing? Like, story, nah, whatever.
It was weird. It was just during this time where I was buying games based on, hey, the box art looks awesome, or I've seen one trailer. And at the time I was working at a games retailer here, and I remember us getting stock of Fallout 3, and I picked up the box. I was like, fuck, that art is so... What is this? I was just like, the logo's really cool, and there's this Brotherhood of Steel. Dude, what is the Brotherhood of Steel? And I'm just like, I'm buying this right now.
Doing it, yeah.
And I bought it, and I was like, fuck, this game's great. I fucking love this. This is awesome.
See, now, but that's my argument where I think, generally speaking, you enjoy something a lot more the less you know about it.
Yeah.
Why I love knowing, I mean...
it's just riskier.
It's just risky, yeah. But like, I've told this before, when I watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World...
Oh, what a movie.
I had no idea what the movie was about.
Same.
And it was like made for like someone like me, and I was like, holy shit, this is the best movie ever.
That sense of surprise is just like there.
It's like, what is this movie and why is it so awesome? It's the same with games. A lot of games I play that I know nothing about. Like Bloodborne's a good example because I've actually never really watched gameplay of Bloodborne. I know like loosely it's a hard game. Going in blind and I enjoyed it.
You just like heard anecdotally.
Yeah. And I was like, shit, this game. I think if I'd watched videos, I would have lost its magic a little bit. Still a great game, obviously, but
I wish I could do that now, especially for like movies. Because it's really difficult. I remember watching The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's second Batman film, and I'd not watched a single trailer. Not looking for it. I just
coincidentally.
You know, at that time it was like, oh, Batman's out, let's go watch it. Yeah. Like. And that fucking blew me away. I was just like, what is this? Like, I had no reference for like the whole discourse over people getting mad over Heath Ledger being the Joker. Like, that all came afterwards. I was like, oh, people were mad. Like, he was fucking incredible.
Really good, yeah.
So, yeah.
Goddamn. My number 6. We are number 6, right?
Yes.
Dota 2.
Don't admit it.
This stays on.
I thought you have a love-hate relationship with.
You know, this stays, but it's what you said. It's not necessarily the best games. It's it's games that have had an impact on you or influenced you.
Okay, then Dota should probably be number one there.
Dota 2, I haven't. No, don't say that. I haven't played it for years, but it's still hands down the game I've put the most amount of time into. And
do you know what your hour mark is?
It's probably 4,000 or 5,000, which is still rookie numbers by Dota standards. I mean,
if you say so.
No, honestly, if I'd kept on playing, I would have been like past the 10,000 mark.
Snorted a kilogram of cocaine today. That's rookie numbers.
Well, it's rookie numbers, man.
Got to up those figures.
So yeah, I love hate because, I mean, Dota is one of those games you play it and you win and you feel really good. You're like, shit, I built my character right. I did everything right. The team just worked together. It worked well. We won. But then you have those games where everything just goes wrong. You hate life.
It's when I'm in your team.
No, it's when I'm in my own team. But, I mean, that game I played religiously for like 3 to 4 years. I was part of the DGL back then, had a competitive team, and it consumed me. It was all I played. I mean, I played stuff on the side.
You're deep in that esports.
I really was, man. It was my primary game. I think there's a period of time where I don't think I really touched many single player games because that's all I was playing. And I just really enjoyed it because it's a thing of you're always just getting a little bit better every time. You're learning how to play different heroes, how to build different ways. And it is like an infinite rinse repeat. The game's never the same.
There's endless possibilities in that game, yeah.
And it just consumed me. So, it's a top 10 material.
They're still making great changes to the game nowadays. Yeah. So, but I remember you going through that period where most of the stuff you played was multiplayer. Like,
it's just
you were hooked into Dota, you were hooked into Team Fortress, you were hooked into like Overwatch.
Yeah.
Hectically into Overwatch.
Overwatch was on my top 10 originally. It's not there anymore.
Overwatch consumed you. I remember that.
That's great, man. Good times. We're in the top 5.
Top 5. Number 5. Mass Effect 2.
I've still never played
the best Mass Effect.
How dare you?
Let
me have an opinion even though I've never played the game.
If you had to go back and play the original trilogy now, Mass Effect 1 would feel strange, 100%. Mass Effect 2 and 3 would hold up, but Mass Effect 2 would be the one you remember still today. It just...
that good.
It refined so many of the mechanics from 1, presented the story in a more self-contained way. Like, you can play Mass Effect 2 without really knowing what happened in the first one, and you could have a great story in the second one that then gives small hints at what's to come in the conclusion, but it itself is its own story.
Its own standalone
its own standalone thing. It has a defined beginning and end to its tale there, and it's just phenomenal.
Nice.
The shooting is unlike anything else. The character relationships in that game were exceptional, and then the way it made you use your characters and their relationships in planning out this final mission and seeing like your decisions made throughout the game like carry out in very impactful ways. Like it's
cool.
And it's why I think there's a lot of discourse on the third one, because like they had that in the second and they could not deliver that same feeling with the conclusion to the trilogy.
It's hard to topple something that's really good.
Yeah. I don't envy BioWare for having to even attempt that. So, but Mass Effect 2 is fucking awesome. It's just
so good.
It's great game.
Goddamn.
Commander Shepard.
Commander, are you Fem Shep or
I actually I always played the complete state vanilla male Shepard, the bald dude. I just think he looked cool.
Yeah.
I
mean, generally he's the dude who's on the cover art.
Yeah,
and stuff, so.
But everyone loves Fem Shep because the voice actress is better, and I tend to agree. I think it was Jennifer Hale.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's awesome. So yeah, I should probably replay it as Fem Shep.
Fem Shep.
My
number 5. Portal 2.
Ooh.
What a game.
We do have crossover then.
Okay. Well, Portal 2
is good.
I've only played Portal 2 once in my whole life. Okay. I really should replay it, but it's the weirdest thing because Portal 1, for those of you who don't know, I don't know where you've been living, but Portal 1 was it was just included in an orange box. The cool little 1 hour,
like
2 hour game. Yeah, it is literally just a tech demo with a slapped on narrative.
Made by students.
Yeah, made by students. You just I suppose a test subject. You wake up in a laboratory. You have a computer telling you what to do, and that's it. It's an hour, 2 hour game. You're like, shit. Portals are awesome, you know. I think even
think with portals.
Yeah, that is like the cash line.
Now you're thinking with portals.
With portals, and then they announced Portal 2. It's like cool, more story. Not more story, more puzzles to do using the portal gun, whatever. Then you play Portal 2, and all you have is, these awesome puzzles, and out of nowhere, this narrative, which you think for a universe like that, it's you just solving puzzles, but they slap on this really awesome narrative in the world of Half-Life, although it's not in Half-Life, but it's
a really good story, though.
Great characters. I mean, GLaDOS is like one of the best villains / allies of all time. And then what is the other dude? Wheatley.
The robot, Wheatley, yeah.
And you have this whole story and you're just solving puzzles throughout it, and it just works. And just that world and the writing, so funny.
It builds on the mechanics really
clever.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so smart. That's like, I still think that's Valve at its pinnacle. Like,
yeah.
I mean, look, I love Half-Life 2, but Half-Life 2, I haven't played it. I imagine it's dated. Portal 2, I think you could still play it and be like, shit, this is just...
Portal 2 is perfect.
It's really good.
There is nothing about Portal 2 that does not work.
Except that the cake is a lie.
The cake
is a lie, but Portal 2 is so good.
It is perfectly paced. It is perfectly stretched out. It introduces mechanics in intelligent ways. Its writing is sharp. It is the definition. Like, if I had to review that game today, that game gets a 10 out of 10. There's no fucking doubt about it.
You've got Cave Johnson as well, man.
Yeah.
Like, best... I love those little stories, man. It's so good.
It's Valve at their best.
Yeah,
and they have not been there since. And
come back, Valve. We miss you.
Yeah, what a game. Just what a game.
Yeah, that's my number 5.
Today's episode of Checkpoint Chat is proudly brought to you by Hitman 2. Hitman 2 is the sequel to the critically acclaimed reboot of IO Interactive's seminal action stealth franchise, without the episodic model this time around. Step into the shoes of Agent 47 once again and get creative with your approaches across 5 brand new sandbox playgrounds. Test your strategies online in an all-new competitive multiplayer ghost mode as you race to eliminate your target as quietly and stylishly as possible. Competitive not your thing? Don't fret, as the incredibly smart sniper assassination mode is included as well, now with the ability to solve its long-range puzzles with a friend. You can get all this and more right now for just 599 Rand. That's a saving of 400 Rand on the original price. This offer is available until April 7th, so put on your best black suit and red tie and check out your nearest retailer today.
My number 4, Bioshock. The original Bioshock. Again, another game that I got off on Xbox 360 without really knowing much about it. I saw the cover art and I was like, I'm down. I'm fucking down.
What is this?
Back then it was a Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah.
The original one. And I remember my first impression of it was, man, this water looks good. Because when you like crash the plane and you buy the lighthouse, it's like, fuck
it
yeah, it
really
looks
good,
fucking good, even by today's standards. I did not expect to be completely moved by this harrowing, almost like horror shooter, but it's more like a...
That game had some horror elements, definitely.
Yeah, it's more like a what would you call this on it? It's like an immersive sim. That's the one. It's more an immersive sim than like a shooter per se. And I think that's what its sequels ended up losing. They turned it more into a shooter.
Shooters, yeah.
But like being introduced to this world of unhinged science, that is like disconnected from religion and society and rules, and seeing how that kind of society eventually broke down under the ocean. There are few like moments in games that are as memorable as the encounter with Andrew Ryan.
Oh my god, that twist.
And the twist. That twist is sublimely written and sublimely injected like throughout the game. And it's sad that after that twist, the game kind of goes on a bit of a downhill. Like the end encounter is not good.
Yeah.
But everything
the
up
rest
until
of the
that
game's
point
great.
is unbelievable.
Even just to build on that, just the fact that you're in this like alternate reality in that time period where it's like, okay, there's this underground city, and everywhere you go, there's just a story just waiting to be told. Every level in that game, you find recordings throughout. You learn about all these characters, whether they're alive or dead. Yeah, voice acting, and then
environmental storytelling.
Yeah, it's great. And the environment, like Rapture, I think you've said it, and a lot of people said it. Like that is one of the main characters of the game. It's it's a living, 100%. Breathing character.
Yeah,
you walking through that city.
There are a few video game settings as iconic as Rapture.
Yeah,
you see Rapture and you know immediately what it is like, and that's what made the DLC for Bioshock Infinite, which Bioshock Infinite is not a bad game. It's
just not as good.
Yeah, but the DLC where you return to Rapture is phenomenal.
Where they sort of like come full circle, and it's like, okay.
But you realize then, like returning to Rapture, you realize that I think it was Columbia. It was called in Bioshock Infinite. Just didn't hit the same notes.
No.
Like they tried, and I respect them for trying. But Rapture just has this feel, this like dirty, like terrifying feel to it. Like because you're underwater, it just always feels dangerous.
Claustrophobic.
Yeah, it's like at any point you're walking and you're hearing a creak and make these noises and echo, and you're like, this thing could collapse on me at any point and I'll die.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So yeah, game is.
I just love how the next step was to go all the way to the sky.
yeah.
Because like, if they do a Bioshock, where's that going to be set? On land. Where else are we going to go?
I mean, that said, Bioshock 2 is a good game mechanically, but Bioshock 2 also has one of the best Bioshock stories ever told in its DLC. Minerva's Den.
That is really good.
Which is directed by Carla Zimonga and Steve Gaynor, who eventually made Gone Home and Tacoma.
That twist at Minerva's Den as well. It's like, what?
Minerva's Den is
so good.
Unbelievably good. Yeah. So play that as
well. I think Jeff has always said that's like the
best
most
Bioshock.
Pure Bioshock.
Yeah. I tend to agree.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's my number 4.
My number 4.
My top 3 are so predictable. My God.
Hollow Knight.
No,
I'm saying me.
Oh, yours is...
Don't tell me no, it's my list.
My bad.
Hollow Knight is my number 4.
Okay. Wow, high up.
Yeah, because Hollow Knight is a game that, I mean, it's tricky doing lists like these, because then it is a thing of like, am I putting this on my list because it's just fresh in my memory, or is it really just that good a game?
Yeah.
And like, when I think of Hollow Knight, to this day, I played it was it last year or the year before? No, it was last year. It still boggles my mind that it was a game made by 3 people. Like, just the level of quality, visually, gameplay, in terms of visuals, gameplay, the music, everything. It's like, to me, it's not quite a 10 out of 10. Like, there's one or two things I'd criticize. Like, let's say the fast travel is a bit of a mission. It's not easy to just get to certain parts of the map because you can't just teleport there immediately. You have to go to the area and then traverse to get there. The map's hit or miss for people. But other than that, the game is just, it's so good. It's a proper modern day Metroidvania. And like, it is very little to criticize it on.
Very unique setting.
Very unique setting as well. It's the same sort of thing as Abe's Odyssey for me, where it's like, it's so, who thought of this? It's like, it's a bug kingdom. And everywhere you go is a different feel, distinct characters, memorable people, and it's just good.
And it just feels like, it feels super eerie the whole time, because you know something's happened. And
it tells that whole thing of, it's you figuring out the story like as you play. You don't know what the hell happened there, but you know there's this very desolate place, something bad happened, and you're just learning as you play. Like, oh, okay, there was this kingdom, this happened. Oh, okay, this,
I just love the visual differences, like you said, between the areas, like going from Deep Nest, which is the Spider Cove,
that place,
and like contrasting that with the Hive with the bees, which is like
so colorful,
opulent
and
gorgeous, and feels like a really rich, like if there was a hierarchy in the bugs, in terms of wealth, the bees would be on the top, type of thing. What a game.
So good. That I don't know what more to say on that. I think our listeners have heard us
Silk Song is so
sing
soon,
songs
maybe.
about that. Oh, singing songs. Silk Song
Plays Hornet.
I cannot wait for that.
So
please Team Cherry release it this year. Thank you. And just on that, I find it incredible that core 3 team, they the ones working on the sequel. You'd think that they've made a fair bit of money, they can expand the studio. Man, their blog post is like, it's just us 3 working very hard on the sequel.
They've set a high bar for themselves. That's some self-inflicted pressure. That's
I think
they'll nail it though.
That trailer sold me.
That trailer was
too good.
Number 3. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
That's my number 3 too.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can co-join that one.
Oh boy.
Breath of the Wild is just...
What a game.
Like... I can't put into words how immense this game is, and how incredibly special and strange as well, because it's a complete departure from Zelda games in the past. Like, it is completely different.
Yeah. It's difficult to explain as well, because like, I think everyone will experience the game differently. Like, if you want, you can take a quiet stroll to that mountain there, and you can just do whatever. Like, I don't know, go do some side stuff, cook some meals.
I always hear people going to the desert first. I'm like, you fools!
You fools! I never went there. That was like the last place I went
as well.
But oh man, Breath of the Wild is just
what a game! Just so many like little stories, personal stories that you have, because like there's so much dynamic feel to that world. It's unparalleled in that it just feels real.
But the thing is, like, the world can feel a bit empty. Like, it's big and it's vast, but it's like, it's tranquil, it's peaceful, and it's just
getting around that world. Like, there are few things that felt as satisfying as like getting up a high mountain, because that itself is a puzzle with like managing your stamina and whatever. And then just like gliding so far, getting everywhere.
I mean, for me, that game was, I want to go climb that mountain because I can. You can go everywhere you look in the game, you can go. But like, games in the past have said, you see that mountain, you can go to it. Zelda was like, no, you can just climb straight up. You don't have to go around anything. You can go wherever the hell you want. And it was the thing of, I want to climb this mountain. Okay, I'm at the top. Oh, like, what's that? I'm going to put a marker there. You go there, but you're like, but hang on, what's that over there? And you get so lost in this world, because there's just so many little things to do and see. And then there's all the shrines throughout. I mean, I 100% of that game. I did every single shrine. I saw every...
Oh, you didn't do all the Korok things,
that was too much. No. But I searched like every inch of that map, and it's so good.
It's phenomenal.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, collecting all the shrines was just such a great, a great goal to get through, and also like finding all the because people criticize the game for its story. I think there's actually quite a bit of story packed into that game. Like the memories that you find pepper the backstory, but then like you go to places and you see evidence of past events. Like there's a really good like feel of shit happened here, and you're trying to rebuild things. It's
that one field of like destroyed guardians. You're like, okay, something big,
something massive.
Here.
Yeah, so it's just really good at communicating that sort of stuff, and then on top of that, just like all the surprises it has like you reach the snow and there's like suddenly Link is like shivering, so you need to put on clothes, or you can equip a fire sword on your back and that warms you up.
That works,
Like all the way like electricity is conducted through metal, so you can completely break some puzzles based on that, or like flying to Eventide Island, like how am I going to get off this thing? Like it's just packed with so many things. And even now you see gifs of people doing things in the game. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and all I want to do anytime I see anyone playing the game is go back and play it myself. But I'm like, it's too soon. I need to put it away for a few more years and then go back.
It's been 2 years, eh?
I know,
what a game.
But I put 100+ hours into that game.
It changed the script for open world games, I think.
Because the game you literally dropped in, it doesn't tell you where to go. Not initially. It gives you like
one of the best openings ever in a game as well.
So good, yeah.
So that was your 3 as well.
Yep.
So we can move straight to 2.
Yep.
So number 2 on my list is Portal 2.
What?
We've spoken about
2.
that.
Get out.
Portal 2, perfect game. I've played it. Unlike you, I've played it numerous times.
I really need to replay it.
Yeah, I've played it multiple times. I really fucking love the gels in that game.
Oh, it's so good.
You get like the speed gel and the bouncy gel and the I can shoot portals on this thing gel, which is like moon dust or something, which ties into the ending.
The ending
super well.
That is a cool ending
fucking
as well.
Awesome ending, yeah. But I think the best part of that game is just GLaDOS, like her journey,
one of the best characters, man.
Her dialogue, the depth between like humor and seriousness when it gets to some of the Cave Johnson stuff. Like, what a game! Perfect game.
It's only way I can explain is like Valve at its best.
Yeah,
that's their peak.
That is their peak. One of the best games ever made, hands down.
I mean, what does it say for the game though that I only played it once? And what is a campaign, like 8 hours?
Yeah, it's about 8 hours.
And I've played it once, and I still think of it. I'm like, shit, what a game!
I can really recall like specific parts of that game. Like it's. Just
I really need to go back and play it.
Phenomenal game.
My number 2, God of War. Now this is one of those things where again, am I only putting this on my list because it's a modern game and it's just fresh in my memory? And I thought about it. I'm like, no, the game is really good. I think
you lost yourself to that game.
Shit, I platinumed that game. But when I think about it, it's just one of the best narrative focused games I've played. Where I don't know, it tells a story in like I don't know, getting my words muddled here, because it's like not that no other games have done it before, but it's just such a solid experience from A to B. Everything in between, the way the story's paced, the characters, the combat, visually, it's shit. Like what a beautiful game. I can't even to this day believe like a base PS4 can look like that.
Yeah.
It runs so smoothly, no issues, nothing.
Yeah.
And then just I mean the narrative that we've heard like a million times, how they took Kratos, who's a dude that we like. I enjoy the original God of Wars, I really did, but it was never like, I love it because Kratos is a cool character. It's more like, I love beating shit up.
Yeah, he wasn't nuanced at all. Yeah,
and then they give him, you play this game knowing. Well, this is why I say if you play this game, you should at least watch a retrospective if you haven't played the previous games, just to get some context on where this dude came from. Okay, because he was an asshole, like really was, and then they just rebooted this franchise, and you're like, shit, this is a great story. This is a dude grappling with all the awful things he's done in the past and trying to be a good dad. And I don't know, like when I sit and think about it, I'm like, how did they wanted to do this story, but they somehow just seamlessly weaved it into a whole new world of Norse mythology.
It's completely different.
And like they weave this narrative in with all these characters. They built out the backstory so cleverly with Mimir, just telling you stories. You're canoeing through a boat. I mean, this is one of the design things I can really praise the game. You're canoeing along the river. Mimir's telling you a story. You get off the boat. He's like, I guess I'll pick up the story later. I'm like, oh, like, shit, I should have waited for it to finish. Like, in my head, I'm thinking, no, I've missed out on the story. Go do whatever I have to do, come back to the boat, you start paddling again. Maybe it's like, no, where was I? And he just picks up the story. I'm like, that is just...
And
like,
just, I would often like do circles around that lake just because I'm like, I know that's going to happen, but I want to hear this now.
Yeah. That's the thing. But just the one time I did happen to dock, it's like, oh, shit, like I'm going to miss it. Then I come back, I'm like, okay, they've thought about this. He's just picking up the last story he told, and it's so seamless. It's not like a, oh, shit. Well,
it's not
let
a
me
jarring,
pick up. It's like, oh, now where was I? Yes, I was talking about this giant, whatever. And he just carries on the story. And it's so immersive and... only inverted commas, 30 to 40 hours long. But
it's a longer, it's way more expensive than I thought it would be.
From A to B, just what a great game.
Yeah, it's
like it's just set the bar even higher. I don't know how games are going to get better, but they somehow keep getting better.
Yeah, they keep getting better, and in unlikely places. Like, who would have thought that God of War would be one of the most emotionally impactful and, you know, technically adept games of this generation. It's just super good.
Like, give me that sequel.
Yeah. They're callbacks to previous games as well.
Oh my god.
There's some hard hitting moments in that game. My goodness.
Really good.
Number one. We've reached.
I know what your number one is.
Of course you know what.
Do you know what my number one is? Come on. You know me. No pressure though.
I do know you. I'm trying to think now. I don't. Maybe I'll think about it.
It'll come when I said.
When you said, I'm gonna be like,
you're like, of course,
yeah.
I know your number
my number
one.
one is definitely Journey.
100%.
No question. Like, I've spoken about how Destiny, Portal 2 is a perfect game. Journey is a perfect game.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 3-hour experience. It's emotional and beautiful and just unlike anything I've ever played. There's nothing that comes close to evoking that sort of response from me. And you know, some games are close, like Abzu, which is actually done by the game's art director.
Same dude,
same art director. But Journey is just special. It is, it's good. I played it twice only because I've only played it at times where I feel it's appropriate to dive back in, because it's not the sort of thing that you need to be in a certain space when you play it, I think, and depending on when you play it and what's been happening around you, it can have different meanings to you, because it's a very vague, very a sort of thing that you kind of project stuff onto it, and it gives you back some meaning. But just even if you're not going into it with that sort of like headspace, because a lot of people play it and don't get any sort of like emotional response, and I get that. Like, even if you don't, it's just like a really good game in terms of how it feels. Like, moving around and gliding in that game has been nailed down to a T, where it just feels perfect. And then it just visually looks incredible, and its soundtrack from Austin Wintry is like one of the best things you'll ever hear.
And just the actual game itself is like stunning.
It's phenomenal. And it's a 3-hour thing. You do it in one sitting.
I've only played it once and I loved it, and it's exactly what you said. Like, you project, like, everyone's going to experience it differently.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You can't tell a person like, hey, there's this really cool walking simulator, you should play it, because it's like,
I can't even tell you what its story is about.
No, I also can't, but I remember it because I'm like, shit, the game is beautiful. I finished it, I was like, fuck. Like, I couldn't put it into words, but my heart was just like, what a game.
Yeah,
you
just
know,
feel inside like what that game is. It's,
I mean, and then like, we need to mention just the fact that I don't know what it was like playing it at the time, but you stumble upon random people.
Yes.
And like, even when I was playing, I was like, oh, is this an AR? Like, what is this? And it's like, no, this is some other dude playing with you. And you can't, there's no voice chat. You can only communicate with like pinging and symbols, and you don't even talk to this person. You might have different people on your journey, but that's beside the point. You just form this bond. And I remember getting to the end of one of the levels, and I got to the end, I was like, where's my companion?
Yeah.
Like, they're gone. I was like, and I actually waited. I was like, I don't know if they're coming.
Yeah,
you know?
It's heartbreaking. It's the second time I played through it, I had a companion from the start.
Oh yeah.
And they left me right at the end, and I can't tell you what it felt like. Just like, oh god, they're gone. They're gone. It's so great. And then what's also weird is that you might feel like you've been playing with the same person the whole time, but at the end of the game, it'll be like you played with like 5 different people. Yeah, it's. And then sometimes you play a game and your companion is one of those white-robed ones. So they've got like unlimited flying, and it's a good time.
Like, this is an OG Journey expert.
It's coming out on PC this year.
That's cool.
I will play it again on PC.
Oh man, third time's the charm.
That game company has me, man. They're busy working on their new game called Sky, which looks like Journey in the Sky, and I'm fucking there for it. So yeah,
you're there for that.
I trust them. I trust Genova Chen with all my heart.
What a game! So if you haven't played Journey.
Wait, I might be saying that. I think Genova Chen actually left that game company. But
no.
In any case, yeah.
What's my number one? What is my number one game?
Ori. Duh, fuck. Of course.
Of course, it's Ori and the Blind Forest. God
How
damn
did I forget that? I'm like, it's not even on your list. Of course, I forgot that.
I have a giant plushie that you kindly gave to me of Ori.
Yeah. What a game!
That game. All I can say
Still
is
haven't finished it.
You monster. That game. Like, just for context, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if you knew this. Moon Studios is a studio that, as far as I know, doesn't have like a proper base of operations.
Yeah, so
it's comprised of people all over the world.
Yeah, I met one of them at E3 last year, and they told me that, and I was like, "What?"
And like when you play that game, it's also almost like how I feel about Hollow Knight, where I love the game, but I love it even more because I understand the backstory. Like, it's made by 3 people. Moon Studios, it's a studio comprised of people that live all over the world, and when you play Ori, it's a platformer, also Metroidvania. It's beautiful.
A hard game as well.
It's a hard game, challenging, but yeah, more.
It's fair.
It's fair, though, yeah. But just visually, I don't know of any other game, to me anyway, that I can use more than Ori as a reference to people who aren't gamers, to be like, game is art. Look at this game and tell me it's not art, because it's like a moving watercolor painting, but the colors are so vivid and it's beautiful. You can look at any part of the game and like, shit, like screenshot that, print it, put it on a wall. It's a piece of art.
It's got all this depth as well. There's so much happening in the
background.
Yeah,
I don't know how they do that, but so that's how the game looks. The game plays well, and then I just said to another thing, this is made by people who aren't even in the same room.
Oh, it's unreal.
I don't know how you pull a project like that together and you make such a good game. And like to this day, I often think about the game, and it's weird because it's a platformer. It's got like a narrative, which it's like, I don't think the story is that strong.
Ooh, that opening. Get through that opening without crying.
The opening's good, but like it's a normal story.
Yeah,
you know,
that opening is hard hitting.
Yeah, it's hard.
Holy crap!
But the way you feel, well, not you, but the way anyone will feel about Journey at the end, this is how I feel about Ori. Like, I finished the game, I was like, shit. It's like, what is this feeling? Like, it's such elation. Like, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm a mix of everything. And like, I think about it, I even get a bit emotional. Like, I can't even put into words. I'm like, just what a game. Like, what a great game. And it's my number one.
Have you played it numerous times? Or?
I've only played that twice.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. First time was like phenomenal. Second time I loved it just as much. So
man, all these rumors that's coming to Switch, man.
Is it rumored to come to Switch? Because oh my god, I'll replay the game.
To Switch.
So I'll definitely replay it, and the sequel's coming out hopefully this year, or in the Will of the Wisps. Yeah. I cannot wait. Wisps.
Yeah, that game. I played a little bit of the sequel at E3, and that game just excels at game feel. It just feels so good, like jumping around, and it's precise as hell. But fuck, man,
so beautiful.
I've watched an entire video breaking down a section in Ori and the Blind Forest where you get this thing where you can like ping pong yourself in the air, like you can stop and change direction and just like shoot yourself.
There's
something or
when you're climbing the Ginzo tree.
Yes, that's exactly that. That's
so. Sorry, finish.
No. I just watched the video and I was like, fuck, I need to get to this part in the game.
It's funny because I knew nothing about Ori until I watched the one trailer. And I think I was at Gamescom with Jeff and Zoe when I saw it. And all it is, it's a 2-minute gameplay video of somebody climbing up the Ginzo tree. And I watched that gameplay, heard the music, saw the video, like, I have to play this game. And I bought it day one, knew nothing else about the game. And
that music is so good as well.
I still listen to that soundtrack to this day. Yeah. It's like one of my favorite gaming soundtracks.
One of the strongest Microsoft exclusives out there. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. And from, like you said, the small studio that works like a satellite studio, they don't work in the same. Like, I don't understand how they control that to a degree where they put out something near perfect like that. Yeah.
So good. Yeah,
that's our top 10.
Top 10, man.
Top 10.
We'll do it again next week. It'll be completely different.
Yeah.
That's how top 10s work.
You're welcome to send us your top 10 if you've been listening and you want to give your thoughts DM us or tweet at us with your top 10.
Yes, please do.
Email us if you want to have a long, nuanced discussion on them. We'll read it. I'm keen to read people's opinions. Yeah. But how does it feel being married?
Oh, man, it's great. I don't know. Time travel.
Yeah, time travel.
Wow, it's great. I'm loving my honeymoon. What a time. This is Monday. I'm leaving for honeymoon tomorrow.
What a time to be alive.
Oh, man.
Flew back to South Africa, recorded this.
Yep. Flew back, straight back. Yeah.
Straight back to Portland.
But I'll be back. Enjoy Glenn next week.
Yeah, so next week Glenn will be taking over just for the week, and then you'll be back the week after.
I'll be back the week after, yeah.
Yeah, good times.
If not, you're alone. No, I'll probably be back.
Yeah, this has been fun. I enjoyed these evergreen episodes. Nice change of pace.
How was it?
Hour 10, okay. Yeah, we did pretty well.
Yeah,
considering we discussed like 30 games almost.
So. Yeah, oh my god. 30 games. Well,
yeah,
20,
10,
20,
10
26,
and then a few shout-outs. Yeah,
26,
round
27,
about there. Yeah.
We did good.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for being such a good MC at the wedding. Wow, you did a sterling job.
I hope I am a good MC.
You'll be great. Don't worry. You were great.
Well, I was great. Yes, I was.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next week on episode 40. Fuck, I did the same thing again. 48.
48.
This was 47. God
don't
damn it.
let Glenn burn down the
podcast.
I'll
try not to.
Thank you.
We'll talk about esports.
Whoa! Lose half our listenership. Kidding. Oh my god. Controversy. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Today's episode of Checkpoint Chat is proudly brought to you by Hitman 2, the sequel to the critically acclaimed reboot of the satisfying assassination-based action game by IO Interactive. Step into the shoes of Agent 47 once again and get creative across 5 brand new sandbox playgrounds, now for the low price of 599 Rand. That's a saving of $400. This offer is only available until April 7th, so put on your black suit and red tie and check out your nearest retailer today. 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 Nearest retailer